You have tried the diets, you have cut the calories, you have dragged yourself to the gym on 3 hours of sleep, running on caffeine and willpower, and the weight still will not move. You wake up every single morning already exhausted, like someone drained the battery overnight. Your mood is unpredictable. Your anxiety spikes out of nowhere. Your brain feels like it is wrapped in wet cotton. And every doctor you have visited has told you the same thing. Eat less, move more, maybe try therapy. Here's what they almost never tell you. The fat accumulating around your belly is not a calorie problem. The exhaustion is not a sleep problem. And the anxiety crawling through your chest most afternoons is not a mental health problem. Those are liver signals. Your liver, a 3-pound organ sitting quietly beneath your right rib cage, is one of the most powerful metabolic command centers in your entire body. And right now, for millions of people, it is running dangerously overloaded, silently misfiring, and sending cascading distress signals into every system you rely on to feel human. The myth is that your liver only matters if you are a heavy drinker. That is catastrophically wrong. You do not need a single drop of alcohol for your liver to become the root cause of your weight gain, your chronic fatigue, and your anxiety. In the next several minutes, we are going to show you exactly what is happening inside that organ, the precise biological chain reaction, and then give you a science-backed framework to begin reversing it.
If you want the hidden science of the human body, not generic health advice, hit subscribe. Now, let us dive in. Before we go deep, you need to understand what your liver is really doing every second of every day, because it is not just filtering toxins. That is a dramatic undersell. Think of your liver as the air traffic control tower of your body. Every flight, every nutrient, every hormone, every fat molecule, every chemical signal has to be cleared through this tower before it goes anywhere. It decides what gets metabolized, what gets stored, what gets packaged and sent out, and what gets flagged as dangerous and dismantled. Your liver performs over 500 distinct biochemical functions. It regulates blood sugar. It processes every hormone your body produces, including estrogen, cortisol, and insulin. It manufactures bile to digest fat. It filters metabolic waste from your bloodstream. It synthesizes proteins critical to your immune function. That is not just an organ. That is a biological supercomputer. And here's where the crisis begins. Modern life has handed your liver a workload it was never evolutionarily designed to handle simultaneously. Ultra-processed foods, industrial seed oils, chronic psychological stress, environmental toxins, pesticides, plastics, heavy metals, absorbed through food, water, and air, alcohol, pharmaceutical loads, fructose in quantities that didn't exist 200 years ago.
Each of these alone is manageable. Together, they begin to overwhelm the system. Here is the specific mechanism most people never hear about. When your liver is chronically overloaded, fat begins to accumulate inside the liver cells themselves. This condition is called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Think of it like a factory floor where boxes keep arriving faster than workers can process them. Eventually, the boxes pile up inside the factory, blocking the machinery. The factory is no longer running efficiently. It is just trying to survive the backlog. Currently, this condition is estimated to affect roughly 1 in 4 adults globally, making it one of the most widespread and underdiagnosed metabolic conditions on Earth. And here is the deeply unsettling part. The majority of people who have it feel nothing dramatically wrong in the early stages. They just feel off, tired, heavy, foggy, anxious. Sound familiar? Let us talk about the weight that won't move. Specifically, that stubborn fat accumulation around your midsection, what researchers call visceral fat. Here is the biological chain reaction. When your liver becomes fatty and inflamed, its ability to properly respond to insulin becomes compromised. Insulin is your body's primary metabolic signal for energy storage. Think of insulin like a key and your cells like locked doors. When you eat carbohydrates, insulin rises, unlocking your cells so glucose, your blood sugar, can enter and be used for energy. Perfect system. Elegant design. But when your liver is overloaded with fat, the liver cells stop responding properly to that key. This is called insulin resistance, and it is a primary driver of both metabolic dysfunction and accelerating fat storage, particularly around the abdomen. Here is why that matters for your waistline specifically. When insulin cannot properly unlock your cells, glucose stays elevated in your bloodstream. Your pancreas reads this as the key is not working, send more keys, and pumps out even more insulin. Chronically elevated insulin tells your body one overriding message: do not burn stored fat, store more. This is frequently the reason why someone eating a reasonable diet, even in a slight calorie deficit, continues to accumulate belly fat. The hormonal instruction to burn fat has been effectively jammed, not by what they ate this week, but by a liver that has been struggling for months or years. The weight is not a willpower failure, it is a signaling failure. Now let us address the exhaustion, because this one runs even deeper than most people realize. Your liver is the primary site of gluconeogenesis, the process by which your body manufactures glucose from non-sugar sources like amino acids and fats when blood sugar drops between meals. Think of gluconeogenesis as your body's emergency power generator. When the main power from your last meal fades, the generator kicks on to keep every system running smoothly until the next meal arrives.
When your liver is compromised, this generator misfires. Blood sugar regulation becomes erratic. You experience dramatic energy crashes, typically in the mid-morning and mid-afternoon, that feel disproportionately severe relative to how much you have eaten. But the exhaustion goes even further. A struggling liver is significantly less efficient at processing bile acids and recycling cellular waste. This means that inflammatory compounds and metabolic byproducts that should be cleared regularly begin to recirculate in the bloodstream. Think of it like a city where the garbage trucks stopped running. The waste does not disappear. It builds up on the streets, begins to rot, and creates a low-grade toxic environment throughout the entire city. That low-grade systemic inflammation is a primary driver of the specific kind of fatigue that sleep does not fix, the kind where you wake up after 8 hours and feel as though you barely closed your eyes. The inflammation is not in your muscles, it is in your blood, and your liver is struggling to clean it up. This is the connection that almost nobody talks about, and for many people, it is the most important one. Your liver is the primary site of hormone metabolism. This means it is responsible for breaking down and clearing hormones after they have done their job, including estrogen and cortisol. Let us take cortisol first. Think of cortisol as your body's internal alarm siren. It rises in moments of stress to sharpen your focus, elevate your heart rate, and prepare you for action. Perfect for a genuine emergency, devastating when it never fully turns off. When your liver is compromised, its ability to metabolize and clear cortisol after a stress response is significantly reduced. This means cortisol lingers in the bloodstream far longer than it should, keeping your nervous system in a persistent low-level state of alert. The result? Anxiety that seems to have no identifiable cause, a baseline of tension in the chest, difficulty unwinding, difficulty sleeping, a feeling of dread that arrives in the late afternoon for no apparent reason. That is frequently not a psychological condition. That is cortisol not being cleared efficiently by an overburdened liver. Now layer in estrogen, and this applies to both men and women because estrogen is active in all human bodies. When the liver cannot efficiently metabolize estrogen, estrogen begins to accumulate. Elevated estrogen relative to other hormones is linked to mood instability, increased anxiety responses, and circling back, increased fat storage, particularly in the abdominal and hip regions. One overwhelmed liver, 3 cascading crises, fat, fatigue, and anxiety, all from the same biological root. Which means your fix is not another diet, another supplement, or another therapy app. You just need to restore the biological function of the organ that is running the entire operation. Here is how we do it. Quick note, the following protocol is based on published research, but please consult your physician before making significant changes, especially if you have a diagnosed liver condition, are on medication, or have pre-existing metabolic concerns. Your liver cannot recover while it is still drowning in the inputs that cause the problem.
The first step is strategic load reduction, not starvation, not elimination of entire food groups, but targeted removal of the highest burden substances.
The two most impactful: industrial fructose and oxidized seed oils. High fructose corn syrup and concentrated fructose from processed foods is metabolized almost exclusively in the liver, unlike glucose, which every cell in your body can process. A liver receiving constant fructose loads is perpetually in fat production mode. Removing or dramatically reducing processed fructose frequently shows measurable changes in liver fat within 2 to 4 weeks, according to multiple controlled studies. Industrial seed oils, soybean, canola, corn, sunflower, are highly unstable polyunsaturated fats that oxidize readily, creating inflammatory compounds that the liver then has to process and clear. Replacing these with stable fats, extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, coconut oil, meaningfully reduces the liver inflammatory burden. Bile is your liver's primary metabolic export, a digestive fluid that emulsifies fats and carries liver waste out of the body through the digestive tract. Think of bile as your liver waste disposal truck. When bile flow is sluggish, toxins and processed hormones that should be eliminated get reabsorbed through the intestinal wall and sent back to the liver for a second round, dramatically compounding the workload. 3 research-supported strategies to optimize bile flow. Bitter foods, arugula, dandelion greens, radicchio, artichoke, stimulate bile production reflexively. Consuming them at the start of meals has been shown to meaningfully improve digestive bile output.
Taurine, an amino acid found in animal proteins, shellfish, and available as a supplement, is a primary building block of bile salts and supports bile acid conjugation in the liver. Hydration with electrolytes, particularly adequate potassium and magnesium, supports the thin bile duct channels that require fluid balance to flow effectively. Your liver primary detoxification process runs in 2 phases, and both require specific micronutrients to function. Think of Phase 1 and Phase 2 liver detoxification as a 2-stage water filtration system. Phase 1 breaks down toxins into intermediate compounds. Phase 2 binds those intermediates to carrier molecules so they can be safely excreted. If Phase 1 runs fast but Phase 2 runs slow, which frequently happens in nutritionally depleted individuals, those intermediate compounds accumulate and become more damaging than the original toxins. The most powerful nutritional support for both phases comes from cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, kale. These contain sulforaphane and DIM, compounds that are among the most well-researched liver protective substances in nutritional science. DIM in particular supports the liver clearance of excess estrogen, directly addressing the hormone anxiety loop we covered earlier. 3 to 5 servings of cruciferous vegetables per week is a consistently supported target in the research literature. Your liver does its most intensive repair and regeneration work during a fasting state, specifically in the period between your last meal of the day and your first meal the following morning.
Think of this window as the overnight maintenance crew that comes in when the factory is closed. They can only do their work when the loading docks are quiet and no new shipments are arriving. Every time you eat, particularly carbohydrates, you elevate insulin, which signals the liver to switch into active processing mode and suspends the regenerative maintenance cycle. Extending your overnight fast to a minimum of 12 hours, even simply moving dinner earlier or breakfast slightly later, allows the liver maintenance cycle to run more completely. Research on time-restricted eating consistently shows measurable reductions in liver fat markers with even modest fasting window extensions, without requiring dramatic dietary restriction during eating hours. 12 hours is the floor. For individuals with more significant metabolic concerns, many researchers suggest a 14 to 16-hour window produces more robust results, but begin with 12 and allow your body to adapt. Here is what we want you to carry with you from this video: the fat around your belly, the exhaustion that coffee cannot fix, the anxiety that seems to have no name. These are not character flaws. They are not signs that you are broken or weak or undisciplined. They are biological signals from an organ that has been carrying an extraordinary burden, often in complete silence, for a very long time. And the remarkable truth about the liver, unlike almost any other organ in the human body, is its extraordinary capacity for regeneration. Given the right inputs and the right conditions, it begins to repair itself with a speed that genuinely surprises researchers who study it.
You are not starting from zero. You are starting from signal. And now you know what it means. If this video gave you something your doctor never did, share it with someone who needs it. It costs you nothing and may change everything for them. And right now, in the comments below, tell us the #1 symptom you are trying to fix. Is it the stubborn belly fat? The exhaustion that sleep does not cure? The anxiety that spikes out of nowhere? Tell us below, because we design every video on this channel around the exact struggles you are facing, and your answer directly shapes what we create next. We will see you in the next one.